So we've been married 3 months now, and we just wanted to share the things that we've learned about conflict resolution and conflict in general in our marriage. And we said that the first thing that we said is, I just put out there that conflict is not the end of the world. Normalizing it in relationships is natural, is normal. It's not necessarily that the devil is attacking your home.
The devil is not even attacking you.
There's something deep going on in your marriage or anything like that. Or not all fights are real deep fights, but some fights are real deep fights that need addressing. And then we started talking about our biggest fight yet. So Uba, do you want me to say?
Yeah, start it.
Okay, so basically this fight was a crazy one. It was really, really crazy. And I think the fact that it happened outside church, because we were just saying that no place is above conflict.
No place, even the house of God.
You can fight in church, you can fight in the toilet, you can fight anywhere.
You can even fight on the bed. I won't lie you.
Yeah, literally. However it's doing you, however it's tricking you, you don't even know when that annoyance, that thing will just come out and everything. So basically this fight was actually about church, and it was outside church.
Yep. Kind of really embarrassing fight, honestly.
Yeah, it was.
The thought of this conflict, anytime I think about it, I feel so, like, did that happen to me?
Yeah, it's actually one that I'm quite embarrassed about, because I don't know how I let myself get to that stage. I don't know how he allowed himself to get to that stage as well. And it was actually in public. It was outside as well. So, again, guys, fights can happen anywhere. It's all right.
So, basically, this fight started because... So when I moved to UK, I'm this kind of person. Before I join the church, it takes me a while, because once I commit to something, I commit for life. Like, that's how I am. If I say I want to commit to eating pizza, I eat pizza for life. That's how I am.
On the flip of that, I was already in the UK for 6 months prior, so I was just tired of not being rooted into a church and not having my own church family and I was just tired of jumping from church to church. And or even the church I was in not feeling completely part of the church and all of that. And so we tried out this church, and I'm this kind of person. I'm an extrovert, so I love people. I like mingling with people. I like getting to know people. I mean, if I'm gonna get my face dolled up and dressed up, I want to talk to people. I'm not just going to go to church and then bounce. And then I think we were supposed to go somewhere after.
Yeah.
But I just thought that Moyo was being his normal introverted self. And, it was also trying to be like, I'm not feeling these people. I'm taking my time kind of thing. So the church has not finished. Pastor has not finished preaching his
He has finished preaching.
Please.
He's doing vote of thanks.
He has not. Which vote of? They were doing testimony. They were doing
I'm sorry.
testimony.
Once you receive preachers, have you not finished?
It's part of the preach, because there is healing in the testimony.
Okay.
There's breakthrough in the Can I get a hallelujah?
You don't agree on that.
Can I get
that's a conflict right there.
Can I get a wiper in the comment section? There is healing in the testimony. So they were doing testimony, and that is how Oga is not saying, let's be going, wear your jackets.
That was not what I said. I didn't say wear your jacket. I asked that, should we be going?
I said, I'm saying my own part of the story right now. I said, the reason why we're here is because you don't like the former church. I follow you come here. Me, I like the former church, bro. I follow you come here to find good church for us. And then you are now saying, let's leave. And I'm like, if we're leaving before the church is even over, why did we come to church? We could have just done it online.
Or because she wants to mingle after
service. Yeah, because I want to get to know people. I want to, get a feel of the church.
The funny part is that the reason why I was even saying we should leave church now is for her.
Yes.
It was something that it was for benefit.
That it's for me. He claims that it's for me.
Because what we wanted to go to has to do with you. Yeah.
Right. So I just got, really, really upset. And I think it's because it's something that I've been holding in. I was desperately looking for a church just to settle down, and I couldn't just take his whole introverted.
I'm not. First of all, I'm not.
First
of all, anyone that knows me knows I'm not an introvert. I just extrovert in a different way. Your extrovert is like,
Is you that is her?
My own extrovert.
What is that?
My own extrovert
What is her?
This is my own extrovert. I'm a relaxed extrovert, but you are not.
I was just really, really upset. And I remember that day it was pouring. It was raining. Like,
it wasn't
that
that
just
much.
made
It
it
wasn't
worse.
that heavy.
Because I was like, wow, we're rushing out of the church and the raining is going to kill us. All my makeup is going to
Can I continue this story?
All my makeup is
Can
going
I
to
continue
finish.
this story?
I was angry.
Because this is not the story. So anyway, we're sat outside and then she was just walking. And whenever Kemi is walking and she's not saying anything, I know there's a problem. And then in my innocent mind, I didn't even know anything was wrong because she didn't come off as if anything was wrong. I remember, I already told her that. Remember, I asked her because I thought it would benefit her for us to leave. Exactly. So we're outside, she was just walking in. I'm like, are you upset that we're leaving church? And the next thing she was
just snapped. I'm okay for. I went to ghetto on him. I snapped. I said, Oga, is it that you don't want to go to church? Should we be staying at home? Like, literally, I went from 0 to 100.
And then a church member came out and saw us again. And then we just started.
They were like, we're fine. We just have somewhere we have to
Someone
go.
else.
See the way my voice changed. I switched
and
that
then
voice.
When the church member went in, she now changed back out. I'm like, can this woman please come out back? And then and the funny part is because we're under the rain, we had to look for shelter.
To continue fighting.
We now went to the bus stop, and this is
stay yelling, guys.
Wait, before we started yelling, this is where I covered my face with shame.
Yes, cover your face in shame. Yes.
We rushed out of the church, but I didn't check bus time, so I didn't even know when bus was going to be ready.
You see, this is part of the thing. No, actually, we didn't rush out of the church. You were just hinting me to get ready.
The funny part is I wasn't ready.
Out of anger, I wore my jacket and I walked out. Yeah, I know.
Can you imagine? She never told me this.
I was there.
She never told me this.
See.
So you knew it wasn't my fault that we left immediately.
Whether it's your fault, it's not your fault.
Get ready.
You that said we should go.
Get ready didn't say we should go now. You know, baby, I would always check. Can you imagine? I've been feeling bad for something that wasn't my fault.
It's okay, it's fine. So we're under the airport.
So we didn't resolve this. We didn't resolve this conflict. Finish, baby. We resolve it after. Let's continue.
Okay, so we're under the bus stop, and we're literally shouting at each other, but it's pouring, and it's a deserted road. So people actually were not passing, but just a few people were passing.
When they pass by, we're not keep quiet.
Anytime somebody is passing,
let's
so this I was. Literally, that's how bad it was, and I was crying. So I would turn my face away when people were passing, because even as I was angry, I don't want people to think that my husband is a monster. Because in this country, they'll call social services on you.
At some point, I was just like,
in this country,
at some point, I was like, baby, you're making me
violence. In fact,
at some point, I was
this guy who looked back, it was the guy that looked back twice. That is that babe really okay? Do I have to come and save her? So you have to be careful when you're fighting. You know, you have to be where you're fighting. You have to be careful.
Fight was really
in this country. You end up in the.
Do you even know that our boss came?
Call the police on you.
Our boss came, and I told her that's not our boss because I couldn't enter the bus with her like that.
Yeah, you have to wait another 15 minutes for the same goddamn bus.
25 minutes.
But that day was mad, and the funniest thing is it was about church. So yeah, that was just so crazy. But then
I feel like God was looking at us and just like, don't go to church. Don't go to church. If this is all you should cause, don't go. It's not my fault.
It's not my fault.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah, but
I have never, to be honest. Why so embarrassing? It's embarrassing for me not because it was public, but because I can't believe I yelled at her for that long.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, it was.
You know when they say marriage brings out
the worst in
you
and the best in you.
No, people only always say it brings out the worst in you.
It brings out both.
It brings both the worst and the best in you. I'm not even joking.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage can actually do that to you. I can't. Like I have had fights with my mother.
I just wish
I've
had
fights with my mother. I've had fights with my sister. But I have never actually had this kind of
yelling fight.
I have never, because I pride myself in the calm guy, peaceful, calm, like Christ. I only fight once in a while, and it just happened to be in church. Jesus 2 fought. I only fight once in a while. So when that happened, I was like, Jesus, This cannot be me.
I think, because he does actually hold himself in such high regard when it comes to like conflict and how he is so collected. But at the same time, I am gifted. You see, I know how to press the right button.
So good.
I know exactly what to say. I will bring it out. You cannot be collected around.
Somebody will just be on their own.
I will just say I'm not a spoken word that is for joke, or I can use word to finish somebody. Word is my weapon. So I'll just say a word and you're finished. But it's not really a good thing. I'm not actually proud of that.
To be honest, in as much as that might not be a good thing, but it might be necessary for someone like me, because I'm the kind of person. Now they say, why is it that men die faster than women? It's because men normally keep things in. So she's the kind of person, she knows what to say you to talk.
You have that conversation.
I don't want to talk.
I can't talk to myself. I can't be talking to myself.
I don't want to. I just want to keep it in. But she will find it. And that brings us to how to resolve conflict.
Yeah.
And when to resolve conflict. So you see, one of the problems we had with that conflict was we wanted to resolve conflict while we were both angry at each other. We're not upset, we're angry at each other, we're fuming. And that was bad timing. You see, this conflict got resolved eventually. It didn't get resolved there. Okay, I think it was getting resolved small.
I came home by myself. I took at one point, I left you because you went to go and cut your hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I left you. So we had some time apart. And I called my friend.
Yeah, she did that. We'll talk about that. We'll not resolve that one.
No, that is a different conversation, because normally I don't do that much.
You actually don't do it.
I don't do, but sometimes when it's really, really just pricking me, I just need to sound on somebody.
To be honest, there was this fight we once had that what's his name? Timix. I called him. I was like, Timix, how you doing, man? I was like, I said women sha. That's what I just said. I was like, you know what? And it was like a few weeks after his wedding, a few weeks to our wedding. I was like, women sha. It was like, in outside, you understood immediately. We didn't have to say anything. Yeah. But you understood immediately, like, just slapped. It was like, we'll be alright last month.
It's just, yes.
Now, that was like epic for me. But anyway, back to what we're saying, yeah?
Yeah.
So, how do you resolve conflict? When do you resolve conflict? I think, for me, first of all, I'll say one first. Never try to resolve conflict when you guys are fuming. Don't. So it's okay to give each other a breather. I know the Bible says, don't let the sun what if you are angry? What if the fight happens at night?
What will happen? So you people will not sleep?
You will not sleep?
You will not sleep until we sort it out. And to be honest, I do actually really do everything I can to make sure we sort it out before we sleep, because sometimes
it works sometimes.
It works out sometimes, but
she woke me up 2 a.m. one time and we're resolving conflict, and I just went to sit down. I was like, no, why?
Because I can't sleep.
Why?
Are you sleeping when I'm not
Guess what? She wasn't going to work the next day.
But why are you sleeping when I'm not?
She wasn't going to work the next day. We eventually had makeup sex, and it was good eventually. Hello, Chika. Chika was the one that thought that we're going to come and fight on Instagram.
Oh, that's what we're basically doing now. But
that's what we're doing.
Yeah, but so basically, I already said earlier that the conflict resolution, let's normalize it. Let's not be scared, of having fights and all of that.
Yeah.
And then secondly, about, knowing the best time to resolve conflict, because it's really, really important.
Yeah.
And then do you have the thirdly one?
Yeah, do you want to talk about that for a second? Knowing the best time to resolve conflict, I think it's like what we learned in marriage counseling. Like, know your partner. Yeah, we should marriage counselors. That's bimbos, okay. So know your partner. Like, I know when to talk to her, which is anytime. Anytime is good to resolve conflict with her.
Yeah, because
anytime.
I just like talking.
But
he's not good at doing that.
Nah, I don't like talking all the time.
Oh, let's talk about yesterday. So yesterday we had another one.
We did?
Yeah, a little rebuttal. It was actually about Netflix. And this fight was basically okay. I admit that I have rubbish taste in selecting movies. Yes. I can watch anything from Chinese movie to Nigerian movie. I can watch anything, literally, as long as it's entertaining. I'm okay. And I think that very low taste in watching movies, because when I grew up, I watched a lot of Nollywood, so the bar was low.
And being fact that I am a director, I go into details for movies. This things matter.
This is me.
It matters to me.
Okay, this is my time to talk.
Yeah, talk. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. So basically, I have very shit taste, and I own it. But him, on the other hand, I don't watch.
I have standards.
I don't watch musical. I don't watch this. I don't watch Nigerian movie.
I don't watch Nigerian movies. My Nigerian movies have standards.
It's not my story.
Oh, yeah. They said
this part what we're talking about.
Yeah, sorry.
Doesn't watch Nigerian movie. Doesn't watch reality TV because it causes depression. Because you be thinking about people and all the money that they have.
I have my own life. Why would I be watching someone's life?
Can I finish my own? Nigerian movie, reality TV, music. I say he does not understand why are they singing when they are supposed to be talking. He doesn't watch telenovelas or movies
because their mouths and their lips don't move together. Their words and their lips don't.
So Oga has like 100 things that he doesn't watch, whereas me, I am more accommodating because I believe in people. I believe in the best in people. So basically, I just told my husband last night. I just said, Oga, I want to watch Blink Empire.
She doesn't even know the
name. Blink Empire.
Some Chinese guys
that have money. Yes, that's what I want to watch.
Does it increase my stock?
That's why I want to watch. Why do I even want to watch it? Because of a movie that he chose for me, Crazy Rich Asians.
How are they the same thing?
And it's basically like a real life version of Crazy Rich Asians that I really liked. So that's why and then he now said he doesn't watch reality movie. And I said, your own too is too much that you don't watch my shows with me. Every time I'm watching something that you don't like, which is basically everything, you go upstairs. But when he's watching, this guy watch Strange Things. He'll watch something about Nazis. He'll watch Arsenal. He'll watch anything. As a loving wife, I'm there. I will watch it with you. I will watch it.
What happen after?
Yeah. But the thing about the way we resolved this conflict was the fact, it was so funny. He came downstairs and he said, something. I said, I've heard what you have said. I don't want to fight. You're the one that wants to fight. He now said, do I want to fight? And I said, yes, because if you don't want to fight, this is not how you are going to resolve this conflict. He now went back upstairs.
And I came back
downstairs again. This time, it was mellow. This is how his face was. He now came and I said, can I join you? He said, yes. He now said, down beside me. Now mellow. As he was watching the show, his face was literally like repulsive. He was like, literally, he was disgusted by what he was watching. But he sat there and he watched one episode. And
I gave him free leg massage.
And he watched the second episode. And when he just couldn't take it anymore, he started dozing. He woke up, now gave me leg massage. And we now apologize, now resolved the conflict. And that is the end of the fighting.
It actually took me a while because, and this is what happened there. This I think Moyo is the one with lower tasty movies.
Yeah.
Ouch. Thank you. I'm hurt, but it's fine.
No.
Somebody asked the question there. Wait, y'all didn't know this before now.
We didn't know.
The funny, our different. We've always known that we have different tastes in movies, but it's different when you guys live together.
No, it's not like I know that he has different tastes in movies, but I keep watching the movies with him, and then sometimes it's basically an expectation gap. Yeah. I just expect him to watch mine, no matter how shitty it is, because we lose time when I'm watching something and he's upstairs. We lose time because we're both working all day. And we only have that evening time most of the time. So if you're not going to sit with me just because of my taste in movies, then we're basically not going to spend the evening together. And I have to always choose between spending time with Boo or watching what I want to watch, not what I'm forced to watch. So
you know what you guys go and do? Go and watch Crazy Blinks. Then my own show right now is called The Office. Go and watch it and tell me which one you prefer. Anyways, what you didn't know what happened when I went upstairs and I came down. There was something that actually happened in my mind that I actually wanted to share with you. So I actually sat down and I relaxed. I calmed down. And then I actually remembered some things you always do that just made me laugh randomly. I would actually be laughing at some of your playful nature and how ridiculous you can be sometimes. And then it made me laugh. And I was like,
why are we now fighting about Netflix?
Exactly.
Not that deep.
That's what made me calm down actually. and I was ready to do anything. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I knew it would cost me massaging your feet, but I was willing to do it.
Yeah.
I was willing to. You see, she said the office. Okay.
Put hand down.
It's not about. It's not. There are no teams. There are no teams.
I already told people at the start of this call that you pick your side, but then I now want to chain him out because every time we're having fights, another really important thing that I've learned is it's not about teams. It's not about sides. There's no winner or loser. You know, both of us are fighting.
Yeah.
And even if one person is right, doesn't mean the other person, like, what does the other person gain from the other person not being right, if that makes any sense? Like, when my husband lost, I should also be sad. So it's not about sides, and it's very, very important to know that because.
But sometimes to win sweet.
Yeah, because sometimes.
Sweet sometimes, baby.
Because see, that's why I always say that there should be a study out. There has to be a study out there that says that, you know, accountants and the great relationship mates, because things that are not supposed to be counting, things that are not supposed to be analyzing will be analyzing, and we're really good at keeping records. So when I'm fighting, I can give you an example.
I mean, I'm so bad at it. I would not be cracking my head.
I can give you an example of where you mess up. I'll give you like 5.
Valid example. I'm
not holding it in, no, but I just keep records.
Do you know she actually kept record of the movie she has been watching with me?
Yeah.
And I couldn't name one.
I gave 5 movies.
I had to go to a Netflix page.
This guy now enter into my Netflix.
To go and check what I watched with her.
To go and say, did I watch this with you? Did I watch this with you? And his one was
because
dead.
I couldn't remember.
His one was dead because his one was coming, period.
I'll go upstairs.
He will go upstairs. He'll come down and I say, did I watch this? I say, oh guy, your day just break. Me, when I entered the conversation, I was prepared. I already gave you 5 things. But that's not what it's about. You're not supposed to be. Yes, you might give one example just to back up what you're saying, but you're not supposed to give, you know, you're not supposed to keep so much in. You're not supposed to count tags against each other. This is not Kemi versus Moyo. This is the gays who are one team. You know, we are both on the same side, and that's another thing, you know, really need to find out. And another thing is, we're not going to end the conversation saying, not every conversation is going to end with each other agreeing with what the other person has said. I have a view of my own reality can be different from his own reality. There's always 2 sides to the coin. So the same thing that is black.
Except the coin is 3D.
Except the coin. The same thing that is black can also be white, and the same thing that is black. So I always say this every time I'm, you know, saying this. I say this is how I feel. My feelings are valid. They are true to me. They might not be true to you, but they are true to me, and this is exactly how I am feeling. And it's left for the other person to accept it, but at the same time state their own views. But we can have conversations, we can have debates without bringing the house down and without hurting ourselves so much emotionally.
And that brings us to annoying. You know, when
the end. We're going to conclude it now.
Yeah. You know, one thing that we've tried so hard to do with resolving conflict is when you're upset, try not to don't be upset that somebody's upset.
Yeah. So it's a formula that we have for each other.
Exactly.
So if I come to you and say this thing that you did is annoying me, don't now bring your own pride and say,
it's not always pride.
How can you feel that I want to do this thing to you? Like, it's literally you just being upset as another person.
Give an example.
Okay, so I'll give an example. I come to you and I say, okay, you come to me and you say, Buba, you don't, okay, Kemi, Kiki, you don't message me during the day. I don't hear from you. You're not thinking about me. You don't care about me. You don't know what I've gone through and everything. And then instead of me to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, this particular day I was so busy, I was so engrossed in work, or, you know, at work I'm not allowed to touch my phone, so only on my break times, this one, that one. And I'll go back and say, how can you say I'm not thinking about you? What kind of wife am I if I don't think about you? Are you trying to say that I don't love you? So all of that is not necessary because I'm not the center of this conversation. I'm not the one that is angry. I'm not the originator. So we have this thing. So the person that is the originator has their time.
It works sometimes.
It works sometimes, but we don't stick to it every time because we're human.
And I think that's what conflict is generally. Conflict
is chaotic.
It's chaotic, and it comes with its own, because
every fight is different.
It's different because it's based on the time, the mood, the period. I don't mean that period. It's based on so many things. Yeah. Do you understand?
Okay, so yeah, and there's sometimes that actually just it's okay. I'm also coming to this fact that as a woman, it's okay to claim that we have hormonal imbalances. It's fine. It doesn't make us any less of a feminist or a strong woman or less independent to know. Like literally, there's just sometimes that I just want to hit him for no reason and
hit me.
Not hit him, not like domestic violence hitting, but like I just.
You've been having these thoughts.
I just can't stand him. But he hasn't done anything. Nothing has happened.
You've been having these thoughts about me.
And then it will happen. Anyways, I'm trying to wrap things up because we stayed on longer than we planned to because of the technical stuff we had earlier.
But anyways, at the end of the day, conflict resolutions, the point we're trying to bring out from this is conflict resolutions. It's different at every point in time. But the most important thing is it's okay to let it slide and come back and resolve it. It's okay I can have conflict with you and she'll be talking with you. You get? I can have a conflict with you, and then because we can't resolve it, it doesn't mean we can't still coexist. You can coexist with someone you have conflict. For example, at work, there are people I don't like, but I still work with them. There are people that I don't.
So you don't like me?
No, I mean there are people that
like.
For example, my manager. For example, I have an unresolved conflict with her, but I have to still work with her. She did something I didn't like, and I told her, but she still feels it's okay. You get? It doesn't have to do with me. It has to do with work. But it doesn't mean I would go to work the next day. It's simply if you bring that ideology on. I have a conflict with you, but we still have to eat. We'll still cook together now.
Yeah, and this marriage is still working regardless of the fight. So if you see it as work, we'll still work through things and things will still be fine at the end of the day. But anyways, we just wanted to share with you guys.
Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, before we
wrap up, because we've got a dance video to shoot that we cannot shoot obviously again.
We'll do it after.
Yeah. So, any questions before we go?
Yeah, because we're zooming off.
Okay. Anyways, for all of you that joined us, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for joining in.